Exactly what we read in Matthew 12 earlier. Then it now goes on in verse 18. A good tree cannot, as much as it tries to, it can never bear bad fruit. Nor can a bad tree bear what? Good fruit. See, there is no confusion in fruit bearing. That's the implication. We are seeing, is emphasizing the same thing. There is no confusion. Okay. Verse 19. Verse 19, are we there? It says, every tree that... I don't go into verse 19 yet. There's something I want to show us. There's something I want to show us. I think it's in that same Matthew 12. Just a minute. Let me check for the scripture. Okay. Let me look for the scripture. I should think it's in that same Matthew 12. Alright. Where I was teaching them on... There is not... Where I was teaching them on... There is not what goes into the mouth that defiles a... Not what goes into the mouth that defiles a man. Okay? I just want to show something. Because I said something in Matthew chapter 12. Alright, Matthew 15. Matthew 15. We are shuffling through scriptures. Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15. Are we there? Let me start by establishing, before joining into Matthew 15, that we had said in Matthew chapter 12, let me just establish this quickly. We had said in Matthew chapter 12 that there is such thing as the type of man, the type of heart, and what? The type of what? Fruit. The type of man, the nature of his heart, and the nature of the what? The fruit. If you are to impact on the fruit, what do you first do? You change the man. If you are to... Okay, let me back up. If you are to ultimately impact on the fruit, you have to do what? Change the man. And when you change the man, what immediately changes? His heart. And immediately the heart is changed, what happens? The fruit is changed. Okay? So you don't need to struggle to change fruit. All you need to do is to change the man. Changing the man, change his heart. Changing the heart, what will change? The fruit will change. I just want to establish that. So, is it possible for a man, okay, who was originally good to begin to start bearing bad fruit? Yes. For a man who was originally good to start bearing bad fruit, what happened to him? Something in his heart did what? Change, was altered. Okay? I just want us to understand that. That there's a connection to the type of man, to the type of his heart. What is in his heart? Okay? I'm not done with Matthew 5. Please, I know I'm shuffling back and forth, but there are things to see. Matthew 12. Let's go back to that Matthew 12. Let's go back to that Matthew 12. Something I need to show us there. Reaching mercy, reaching favor, reaching love. Nobody victory must even fall. Alright, verse 33. Let's read 33 again. Just to remind us. Either make the tree good and its fruit what? Good. So to make a fruit, its fruit good, what effort has to be invested into what? Making the tree good. How do you then make the tree good? I said it earlier for verse 35. You invest in what? In the heart. Okay. So it says, make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree bad and its fruit bad, for a tree is known by its fruit. Men know us by our fruit. God also identifies us by our what? By our fruit, not just by our heart. Verse 35. Then he says to them, listen carefully in verse 34. He says to them, brood of vipers, how can you being evil do what? So one of the things we can identify as fruit is what you what? See. I'll say it again. One of the ways we can identify, one of your fruits, or one of the ways we can identify the fruits you bear is from what you what? You say. Let me ask a question. We are going to be very practical. Can people fake what they say? Yes. But are there conditions that a person can be in where they cannot fake what they say? Oh yes. So let me strengthen this thought. That there are certain conditions that a believer a person who claims a quote that he's a believer, okay? For example, if you are under pressure, that's one circumstance that you can be in. You are under serious pressure. What you say in that situation is what will determine to us what's in your heart. Are we together? Because you can be around Christian brothers and you'll be speaking Christianese. You'll be quoting scripture, you'll be saying, holy brother, oh bless you brother, bless you sister, bless you, everybody bless you. And before you say any statement, every statement you say, it goes along with scriptures. But when you are under serious pressure, let's give a very practical example. You don't have money. No, yeah, you don't have money, you are broke. The landlord now comes and is asking you for rent. You now get back to your business, and by the way, we'll see the issue of works. That there is the two ways we can identify the fruits, or two aspects of fruits, or two parts to a fruit. Fruit bearing is what is said and what is what? What is done. Funny ants. So you are under such kind of pressure. What are the kind of things you say in such a situation? Or somebody bumps on you and slaps you from nowhere. What's your reaction? Or somebody raises up there's something happened in the house. They said that somebody stole something. And one of your siblings said it's you that stole it. And you're not the one that stole it. And they are saying that they saw you with their eyes. What will be your reaction at that point? And then somebody from nowhere says, you, calls your name and says, you are lying again, and they slap you twice. How would you, what will be the first thing that comes out of your mouth? In fact, before they ever slap you, you would already start swearing. But a believer doesn't swear. The Bible tells us that, Matthew chapter 5. I swear! Not be me. Just so that they believe you. Some other, even I swear, is even a small one. They will start swearing for that person and insulting that person back. Even almost wanting to. Right? That's how we can tell. Under pressure. That's why he said that you cannot what? Hide what? Fruit. That's why he said it. All you just need to do is to observe. And in fact, if you want to test a person, I was doing this when I was school, amongst my children. If I want to see those of them who really, I'll see that some of them are very meek. If I want to really check that they are very meek, I will orchestrate certain scenarios. Oh yes, I was doing it. I would create certain scenarios where they are under unnecessary pressure. Let me see how they react. And when I see that they react still manifesting that attitude or character, then I'll know that that thing really is deeply seated in their heart. That's how you know what's in the heart. Pressure. Pressure. Abundance of the heart. Abundance of the heart. What will happen? So, what is he trying to establish? That you can't disconnect heart from fruit. You remember we talked about heart and fruit originally in verse 35, and that's what he started explaining in verse 35. You can't disconnect heart from what? Fruit. So the fruit here is what? What the mouth speaks. So out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if you want to know what fills your heart, what do we look out for? The kind of words you say. When nobody is watching you, when even sometimes another one, let me even put it this way, and I'll talk about this, the issue of thistles. I'll talk about it before we wrap up. So let me establish a principle here quickly before we move on. How can we tell that the person is evil? I know why I'm repeating all these things. How can we tell a person is evil from this scripture? He said, "Brood of vipers, how can you being evil speak good things?" So how can we tell a person is evil? And then it says, "For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks." So how can we tell a person is evil? The first way we can tell a person is evil, by what he says. Yeah. And from what he says, we can tell what is where? In his heart. I'm looking for the right words to use. So please follow. And I'll use an analogy. So for a person to speak evil things, it means that his heart is what? Evil. So what makes, let me use this statement. This word abundance, let me break it. Rather than ask a question, let me break it down. So a person's heart is either evil or good. Based on, is it just only based on what is in his heart? Huh? Is that what he's saying? No, it's not just based on what is in his heart, but based on what has filled his heart. Thank you, abundance. Abundance, evil. For example, our generation, you see. So it's when a person's heart is full of a thing that he becomes what? That thing. That's what we're establishing. If your heart is full of evil, you become what? If your heart is full of good, you become what? And how can will people begin to tell that you have become good or you have become evil? Is the amount, the words that you now say. So let me say this. Let me use this illustration. If I have a cup of milk, listen up, that is half full. Alright, please follow. A cup of milk is half full. A cup full, half full of milk. And I shake that cup. Let me even start off by saying, how much will I have to shake? Okay, two illustrations. So we have two cups. A cup half full of milk, another cup completely full of milk. Which of the two cups would we have to shake very slightly for milk to spill out? Are you following my analogy? A cup completely full of milk. Another cup is half full of milk. If we want the milk to come out, we have to what? Shake it, Abby. Because you can't see it. For example, I have two cups here. It's a mug where you can't see into it. It's not like that. I just hope we are following, because these things we are saying, you can't see into it. It's not like that. I just hope we are following, because these things we are saying are very powerful things.